All right, good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Some quick instructions and update about what's going on. So, let's talk about grades. We got to go ahead this week and to start putting in grades into Power School. So, I'm going to start putting them in and over the next couple days. My hope is to have your grade book completely updated. So, what's going in the grade book? Everything I've been giving you in terms of new content since the beginning of April is going in the grade book. So, um, and everything we're doing going forward will be going in the grade book. So here's how I think you guys should really be looking at this quarter right now, right? I know it's really strange, it's really hard to be motivated. I get all of that. But I do want to kind of stress to you that there's this kind of opportunity here for you that I think can really benefit you. So the reality is, if you do everything I'm giving you, your grade's going to be sky high, like unbelievably high, like A or B kind of high. That's awesome. And for some of you, that might be a really, that hopefully for all of you, it should be a really big incentive to keep going, right? Like, because the reality is this: if you don't turn in the work, then your grades will go down. And for some, you've done such a good job. Where you were doing such a good job before we kind of went on this strange break or whatever this is. Um, and I would hate to see your grades kind of fall from there. All right. So, keep going, keep doing the things I'm asking you to do. And in the end, you will be happy with your grade. Now, for some of you, this might be a matter of like, I want to keep the grade I have. That's really good. Then thumbs up, keep going. For some of you, you're looking at this as a chance to improve a grade. Like, yeah, I could have done better. I wish my grade was a little bit higher. Well, this is your chance. You can definitely improve it. And for those of you who are in a position where you need to do well in order to make sure you get the credit for this class. Um, this is also something you got to be concerned about, right? The reality is this. Uh, the policy put in place means that no one will fail. No one will get an F on their transcript, to the best of my understanding. But what will happen is this: if you do not pass the class, you will repeat the class. So you don't get the F, you'll get what is essentially a withdrawal, but then have to make up world history later. So to me, it is kind of crazy to think that like you sat through about half the class, a little less than half the class. You have an opportunity in front of you to just kind of do the work that's necessary and get through. Otherwise, you might be sitting in a classroom again next year or the year after or the year after that, taking world history again, or taking it online, which is just you'll take it online in addition to all your other classes. So really, you should be looking at this as an opportunity to like, all right, let me get this done at my pace, at my timing, when I want to wake up, when I want to do it, and you can be successful. Believe me, you can be. Nothing's being given to you that is impossible to do. So hopefully, you understand what is at stake for you, that you'll keep pushing. Check back in Power School in the next couple of days to see where things kind of stand, and we'll go from there. All right. So in terms of what we're doing for new work this week. All right. So last week we started talking about these kind of like major movements in terms of scientific, industrial, and enlightenment, these game-changing things that help shape the modern world. Now we're going to take this idea of these revolutions and start looking at them slightly differently. And by looking at the American Revolution and the French Revolution. So the American Revolution, I know it's weird. This is world history. Why are we talking about it? And before we start chanting USA, USA, what we want to understand is the American Revolution is kind of a game changer in terms of world history. Why? Because we were the first country who successfully revolted against their monarch and got their independence from them. And why is that significant? Because guess what? The French will be inspired, and then there'll be numerous other countries will be inspired in the years and decades to follow. So kind of like our efforts changed world history. And so what we're going to be looking for here is one, to understand what drove us that direction, right? So that should be relatively new, not new to you because you've done American history kind of stuff before. But the harder thing we're asking you to do is this. All right, you're going to look at the Enlightenment and what they said. And then you're going to look at what our American founding fathers said and did and try to figure out how are they connected. So the sheet that you're going to be doing is, first of all, you're doing the video lecture, get background on the American Revolution, understand why it took place. All right, and then the next thing you're going to be doing, and I'll pull up the sheet in front of you so you can see it, all right, is this part down here. And this is the hard part, real talk, it's the hard part. So what we've got here are documents that sound familiar: the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. Those all sound pretty familiar, right? More Constitution. And so what you're basically being asked to do is this. We want you to read the brief little quote here, right? And then identify what philosophers' ideas are there. So you'll need this sheet, right? The one that you see on your screen right now, and this sheet from last week, in which you learned about the Enlightenment philosophers. So what I would probably do if I were you is go to that section of that sheet where it talked about like the big like main ideas right at the bottom where you did the matching. That's probably going to be the most helpful, and make sure that you kind of figure out that. Now, after you figure out who they are, you need to explain. So if you're going to claim in this one, this first document on the Declaration of Independence, if you're going to say John Locke, which you should, all right, cool. You'll get credit for saying John Locke, but to get full credit, the kind of credit that's going to bump your grade credit, you need to identify what in that document does it show John Locke's ideas. And I'll give you a little bit of hint. It's right here, right there, right there. Cool. So you need to say John Locke and then explain what part or parts do we see that philosopher influencing us, right? Hopefully that makes some sense. And if it doesn't, when we do our live class on Thursday, we will go over that and talk about it, to make sure we kind of work our way through it. All right, let's go back to our instructions here. All right, so after you finish that, so you're going to turn in that sheet, the note-taking sheet and the document breakdown sheet. There's a quick write all the way at the bottom. Make sure you turn that. All right, and then the next thing is the French Revolution. Okay, so there's a brief video lecture just kind of giving some background about the different class systems, about the French Revolution and what are the big causes of revolutions. And so what you're going to have to do is this. So there's a set of documents posted for you on Canvas. Use that note-taking sheet and chart to use that middle column to basically read the documents and get the big ideas, right? What are we learning? Cool. And then the column to the right is asking you to identify, okay, are there political, economic, or social issues that are driving this revolution, right? And here's the thing. In some cases, some documents will contain more than one. Some contain all three. So you'll tell me which one and then what specifically. So the video lecture goes over it, but political basically means like there's something broken in the government. Economic basically means that people don't feel like they have a future that's going to work for them from like they can't pay their bills, they can't feed their family. And then social is that the social classes are they're fighting, they're clashing because there's something broken. So after you've done all that, you'll turn that in, right? Credit for that. And then here's what I'm asking you to do in that discussion thing. Basically, it's more of a quick write. It's this idea that like, all right, you got those three big, broad political, economic, social. Tell me which one, rank them from 1 to 3, which ones were the most important and influential in the French Revolution and why. All right. So you can bullet point those out. If you want to do a paragraph, that's fine. All right. So all that stuff's going to come together and be grades. All right. So live class, as per usual, I'm going to do it Thursday at noon. If someone really wants it a different time, please, or excuse me, different day, please let me know. I can't change the time. Noon is our scheduled meeting time, but I can do it a different day, and I'm fine doing that. You just let me know. I just figured Thursday gave you time to look at the work, and figure out what you might need help with. All right, guys. I hope you're staying safe. I'm hoping that you're going to, for those of you who've been doing the work, you'll stay engaged. For those of you who've maybe kind of fallen off, that you will find it in yourself to re-engage with this process. Start doing the work, turn things in, because in the end, everything is set up to benefit you here as much as possible. And I want to see all of you get the full benefit out of this as much as we possibly can before school starts up again in August. All right, guys, stay safe, and I will see you on Thursday.